Hey everyone, and welcome to the launch stream for Sky. We're coming to you live from That Game Company in Santa Monica, California, and really excited. How's it feel, Genova, to have the game out?
I've never worn a birthday hat, even for my own birthday, but this is for Sky. I'm very stoked.
This is actually a signal of the importance of the situation that we've got birthday hats on. So today we're going to be introducing you to a few of the members of the team. We're going to be playing through the first couple of levels of the game. We're going to be opening up to Q&A from all of you guys and just talking about the process of developing the game and what you can expect to see in the game, and also really just giving you the opportunity, the insight as to what might be coming in the future of the game and what our aspirations are for the game. And also just a quick note that though the game is live today on iOS, you can download it for your iPad or your iPhone. There's also pre-registration opened for Android, and so that will be coming really soon. And we've got other platforms coming in the future as well. So we should be able to get to everybody in the globe should get an opportunity to play this game.
Yeah, and the other thing is we've seen a lot of very positive reviews of the game just in the past 24 hours, and it was just really rewarding for us to see our child coming out and loved by many people, and this is also the first time our game is opened to this many players, and there are some issues that we've never seen when we're doing the soft launch and beta. We are looking into right now. So if you guys find anything strange, due to the massive amount of traffic, it will be great. You can point it out to us. Contact us on Discord or Facebook or Twitter. Let us know what could be fixed. And once we get the game to a better condition, it will be awesome to invite more people to join us in the world of Sky.
Yeah, it's a very good time to point out as well that we see today as very much the beginning. It's been a long road to getting Sky, this first version of Sky, out into the world, and we're so grateful for all the people that are playing it and enthusiastically responding to it. But this is a live service product. This is a game which we hope people will fall in love with, not just for one session, but will become a big part of their lives, and that they will continue to play pretty regularly with their loved ones for months and years to come. So we're poised and ready, and listening to all your feedback that's coming through from Discord and Facebook, any of our online communities. We've built a really cool team here that are making sure that all of your comments get through to the developers. And now it's time for us to get into this iteration cycle of making the game better with every update.
Yeah,
cool. So we're also going to have a couple of giveaways today as part of the stream. The first one, and we're going to give away about, I suppose 10 or 12 of these, is a little pack of Sky Kid stickers, which you can put on your lunchbox, or your drink bottle or whatever. And we'll also give you a pack of candles in game as well. And so the way that you can earn one of those is just by asking some questions of the developers that are on the stream. I've got a little iPad here, which will have those questions streaming through. And so we'll pick some of those out. And if your question gets answered, then you'll win some stickers and some candles. And the other bigger giveaway is behind us there, behind Genova. And that's a signed poster by all the development team. You can give them a closer look. And the way that you go into the draw to win that is that you put a post up on any social media, mainly Instagram or Twitter, and use the hashtag #ThatSkyGame. And what we'd like you to do is show us a screenshot of you and your friends playing the game together. So we'll run that for a couple of weeks, first couple of weeks of launch, and then we'll randomly select somebody from that to win the poster. So with that, I think we're going to move on to our next section and invite Chris and Eileen to come and play a bit of the game. Is there anything
Okay.
else you'd like to add to the players, Genova, before we switch over to those guys?
Not really. I guess I would say just I'm very grateful for all your support and just spending time in the game. We're just glad that a little world that we've built is becoming warmer because you're here. And yeah, just don't be shy. Tell us anything that we are not doing well, and we want to make it better. We want to make it better for you and for the people you love. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks for joining us,
Yeah.
Genova. Cool.
All right.
All right. So next section, we're going to do a Let's Play of Sky. And we're going to start from the second level of the game, Prairie. And so we're going to invite our executive producer and lead designer, Eileen and Chris, onto the show.
Hi.
Hey everyone. So I'm Chris Bell. I'm the lead designer on Sky,
I'm Eileen Hollinger. I'm the executive producer on Sky.
and it's really nice to have you here. We're excited about launch and to play the game with you. So I'm just going to jump into the world and kind of start to play. And Eileen and I are going to kind of talk about things and what we're experiencing and what it means to play through Sky.
It's so nice to have so many people in the world finally.
Oh, I need my hat.
Oh, yeah. We're
Sorry.
wearing hats because we're excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My hat matches. My hat kind of matches my cape color. So
Yeah, that's nice.
I might be able to make it match a little bit more. Sorry, I don't know how this looks.
So where are you going to go play?
So we're going to go through the first two levels of the game. So currently, this is the home space. This is where the character will come back to over time. There are these level gates. So if you look around, these different gates will take you to a different realm of Sky. There's multiple realms. But here, this is sort of the main social area of the game, and from here you can kind of venture out into the broader part of the world. So it might be useful just to kind of look around the space a little bit before we go out, but maybe we'll come back to here once we see a bit more of the world, actually.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to go to the first level, which is the Isle of Dawn. Let's head out. Are we there now? Wait, why can I not connect?
Maybe it's because you're
Oh,
still
you know what?
progress in day.
Yeah, this is
Fair.
true. Maybe I should go to day first, or how do I want to do that? Yeah, let's check out the day level first.
You can just go
actually.
play in Prairie.
Yeah. So this is actually one of the levels that, or one of the realms, I should say, that I spent the most time working on. So here I'm sort of returning to a place in the world that I came to before. So as I jump back into this place, I'm entering in the world where I last left off. And so here you can see the sort of the Sky Kingdom. Far in the distance, we have the storm, which is lingering there in the deep distance. And then in the near foreground, we can see the temple that's here and these ruins of this ancient civilization that's been here before. So
And Chris, we can pretty much fly anywhere that we can see, right?
Yep, anywhere you can see, you can go. So we're just going to fly off and start to explore the world. There's ruins and artifacts around the world for you to explore and uncover. There's secrets throughout the world as well. And so I'm going to play through and kind of talk about what I'm experiencing.
Chris, we have a question from the community. Why are some of the Sky Kids bigger than others?
So in Sky, just like in the real world, you don't have sort of full control over, you don't have control over exactly how you look. So when you come into this world, we actually are assigning you a different height. So some players might be a little shorter, some players might be a little taller, and we hope that sort of helps the sort of feeling of inclusion and people realizing that everyone's a little different here.
Is that something that you can change throughout the course of the game?
We have there are kind of special powers and things that you can unlock. There's a little chibi mask that can make you shorter, but how much control we're actually looking to give you over those sorts of things, maybe in the future. But I think that little bit of wiggle room is actually kind of nice as a sort of random element. But,
yeah, but a lot of the other things about your players, your avatar's appearance can be customized. The hair, there's a million different hairs, the cape color, there's masks that you can wear, different pants. So there's definitely a lot of customizations that you can add on to your player.
So if you end up seeing other characters running around, those are other players in Sky. When you first meet another player, they will appear kind of dim and sort of in shadow. And then when you touch flames with them, when you bring out your candle and you guys touch lights, then you can see them as they are and kind of give each other candles to sort of increase your relationship. And we'll talk about that as I meet a player in the world. But for now, I'm going to go around and clean off some of these stupas that have sort of been overcome by this corruption.
Chris, there's something that I've been noticing in some of the comments about the game since we've launched, which is that some players need or would like a little more guidance on where to go next. So I was thinking maybe we should demo like the shouting a little bit, because I think a lot of players don't even realize that's what they can do.
So yeah, so after so right now we released basically we cleaned off these tuba bells and the bells rung, which called to these mantas, which are allowing us to sort of go up to the temple. So by cleaning off these tuba bells, they've summoned these creatures, and the creatures are helping us ascend to the temple.
That's actually a good. We have a question for the community from Geneticist. Where did the creatures come from in Sky?
So yeah, so the creatures in Sky are connected to the light and kind of born from the light. We kind of tease here and there, but exactly what their origins are, where they come from. But everything that's living and loving in the world is a product of the light. And so you'll often see creatures emerging from the clouds, actually manifesting out of the light itself as the light sort of comes together. You can almost think of it like atoms or molecules. Like as these lights are kind of coming together, new life is being born. So yeah, let's. So for you were saying, Eileen, how do I, find my way around if I'm lost? Well, you can actually tap on your character, and this will allow you to shout, and that serves a number of purposes. So when you shout, that can help get the attention of another player. Say you're lost or confused, that can help call a shepherd over, someone who's looking for you. But it could also, if you notice, I can try to go to a little clearer area of the screen. But when I tap, you can see this. There's a temple icon kind of revealed in the distance, and that icon there will kind of be your sort of shorthand for what your maybe an immediate next sort of main quest goal is. So if you just follow that, you won't have a hard time. You will be able to get through the game. But if you want to go off the main path or try to have other quests, then you'll want to do some more exploring. But if you just want to shout and say, hey, help me find a way to go, that's always available to you.
Yep, it's a good way to sort of figure out the sort of key points of interest wherever you are. And also if you're playing with other people, you can see all the other players in your same level by shouting as well.
Right, so if you shout, right. So right now, oddly enough, I'm not seeing other people. It might be the connection in this room, I'm not so sure. We have Wi-Fi in here.
There were so many in home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try. Actually, while I'm here, I noticed that there is a child of light on that roof, so I'm gonna go up and find him. So throughout the world of Sky, there are these hidden. I'm not going to make it if I do that, so I'm going to come out this way. Throughout the world, there are these imprints of this child of light, this sort of a character that you are connected to and have a relationship with. that sort of makes their appearance throughout the world. So here they are now, sort of staring off wistfully. And if you connect with them, you'll be able to earn their light, and that enables you to level up your wings. So here, this is perfect. I just filled up my wing meter, so now when I level up, you can see a new star has been added to the back of my cape. I get a new wedge. So each wedge is going to afford you a new flap. So as you earn more of those wing light, you can fly higher.
And they're not really one-to-one.
Right.
As you progress through the game, the wedges you require more and more children of light to level up your wedge, your cape.
Your cape.
Chris, we have a question from Tailsun. There are so many subtle touches in the ways characters interact with one another in the world. What's one of these more subtle things you're most proud of that we may take for granted?
I think so. One of the things that Sky does, I think, well is helping both sort of seasoned players and new players work together and play together. And so we put a lot of work into that, so that a more sort of a seasoned player, someone who has spent a lot of time playing video games or managing controls or this and that, can play and kind of be and kind of show off and be the performer himself. But if you're someone who wants to just kind of pass the time or kind of ambiently come back here or meditate in this space or just kind of treat it as a place to relax or come back to perform a ritual, spread some light and go about your day, then maybe you just want to grab someone's hand and hold their hand. Well, that's a nice thing, is a pro player can take you through the world and you can just hold their hand, but you're still there to provide your light, you're still there to help them, and so you can be a support system for them while they're kind of carrying maybe the brunt of the labor.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, for me also, I think that I'm not a designer, so I don't know how this works this way, but as a player, I'm just always really impressed with how much the shout really goes a long way for being really expressive. Like often, it's like a good way to call to people. Also just like when you're excited about something, you can just kind of like spam it and everyone that really gets across to people. So I just feel like there's you can go a pretty long way with just the shout alone.
And then beyond that, there's there are these spirits throughout the world of Sky for players for new players. There's spirits throughout the world, and you can do gestures with them. And it's interesting to see which gestures people take to, which ones they kind of could help define their personality, and then similarly, what are the kind of outfits and stuff. Because people, it's the more I play with different people, the more I kind of see how people kind of express themselves a little differently, and that's
What
nice
do you think
to
is
see.
your most frequently used emote?
My most frequently used emote. I like to lay down a lot.
I do too, actually.
It's funny, everyone's hanging out, and there's like Chris just kind of like longingly looking up in the stars or whatever from the grass. So it's fun, and you can kind of lay down in awkward places, which is kind of fun. So
I always think it's fun when I come into a level and there's just a bunch of people like napping together.
Yeah.
That's like kind of just a fun little thing.
yeah. I also really love there's so some of this so each of the expressions as you gather light in the world and give it to the spirits, you can level up your relationship with them, and the expressions that you earn can actually get more elaborate, a little more fancy. And so one of the expressions we have actually generates when you level up, generates a little heart.
Yeah.
And it's really cute to see, and every time I see it I get excited. It always makes me feel good. So it might partly be part of the fact that it's kind of rare. You don't see it that often, but when I do see it, it's like I always feel like, oh, it's nice. Yeah.
We have another question from the community. When is the season of gratitude going to start? From Flitwick Sting Splatter, and it's I think starting right now.
Right now? I think right now.
Like right this minute, right now? It's starting right this minute,
so
right now.
To explain what we're talking about, Sky is a living world. It's a theme. It's like a theme park. It's going to continue to be updated and evolve. Activities will be happening here, and we have seasons where each season brings kind of a new story to the world. New spirits appear in the world for you to find and collect, and that is sort of the main kind of like we have the base game, the base story game, the base world that you can play for free, and then if you want to take part in that layer, you can kind of test it out in the world, and then if you want to be a paying shepherd, then that will continually provide kind of new content for you over as the seasons progress. But it might be worth kind of talking a bit more about spirits since they're here.
Yeah.
So you can see these tombstones around this social area here. These are represent the different spirits that we've found out in the world, and they've sort of we've brought them back to their local temple. We've sort of united them in the stars, and here we can kind of call them down from the stars to their tombstone in the social spaces. So here, one of these spirits, we can open up his menu. We can kind of see this sort of progression tree on the right. That
And
kind
it sort of represents the level of relationship.
Right. So this represents your relationship with the spirit. So I've just found this spirit. So you can see it's at the very bottom. I haven't even accessed the shop before. So I've got his first expression. So this is the butterfly spirit. So I can actually open up my spirit list, my expressions, and I can perform this little gesture. Now, this special butterfly gesture, if you're ever near a butterfly in the world, it actually has a special little perk where a butterfly will come over and land on your hand, but I don't think there's any butterflies here, so we'll have to do that another time. But looking at more of what the spirit has, so you can see for 3 hearts, I could earn a new cape, and I can actually earn the cape that he's wearing. I could level up my butterfly expression more. I could get this looks like a sort of a blessing of spells, so we can sort of unlock that and see,
And there's
and
like
see what I get from that.
variety of different spells that you get. It's sort of random which one you receive when you
Right.
buy it.
I don't know which ones
You
I
got
just
firework.
received. Oh, I got a firework. Awesome. So just to sort of show up an example of that, players are earning these different things throughout the world and using them. So fireworks players are often using them to celebrate big moments together.
We actually have a question from a player, Chris. Why did you remove the spirits from their places in the world? From Belpita.
So the spirits are the story of the spirits is that they are they were once connected, united in the stars, and something bad happened, and they became trapped. And so you'll find them in the world and kind of piecing together their memories and finding their sort of trapped soul, and you bring your light to them so that they can be redeemed and be united in the stars. And so there is this need to kind of move on for them, but that's not to say that once they're back up in the stars, like as we're saying here, that they can't then be called back down. So as you go and you initially go and save the spirits throughout the world and unite them, going forward, we can look for opportunities to sort of bring those spirits back into the world and take advantage of them and kind of include them in sort of more parts of the world. But it's to kind of help tell that story of what you're doing for them and how you're helping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fly onto rain if that's cool.
Yeah. You got your firework icon still.
I do. I could keep throwing fireworks all day long.
Maybe after you go into rain, you could go back into home just to show the home progression.
I actually like really flying around in here throwing fireworks. It's awesome.
We have a question from player. Is it best to friend as many people as possible? From Seasons141. I mean, I guess my opinion on that is that it's pretty similar probably to just life. I mean, you can treat friendship however you want. I think that there are advantages to having a lot of friends in the world because you have like a higher frequency of running into people that you know, and you have a bigger pool of people to pull from. But there is so much to developing a more deep relationship with a few people as well. There's so many different special relationship actions that you only get if you progress your relationship really deeply with them. And I mean, I think that especially when you're looking at going into Eden, having like a few like sort of like close people that you are going to pull into that difficult level with you is really great. So.
Yeah, more well-tended relationships that you have invested in, I think those are going to treat you better.
That's a good way of putting it.
Those are players who are going to want to invest in you, continually maybe like light your shrine, offer you candles, and give to each other. There's no harm with having all players of various sort of relationship levels and how much time you invest in each other, but I think you'll find that certain players kind of group up and have their best friends, and they exchange light, and they give each other hearts, and they kind of grow sort of a more sort of fuller relationship. And you'll have a little both. Yeah.
It is really nice coming in and just like if you have a ton of friends and coming in and like getting your gifts of light from all of your friends is like a really nice way to start your play session for me. So.
So yeah, let's go into the rain. So the world of Sky, something bad has happened here, and the ecology is a little screwed up, right? There's this light that is loving and good, and then there's this sort of darkness, and a bit of that sort of takes the light away. And as you find in Sky, the the rain in the world will actually deplenish your light and take it away. So you actually have to manage how you're proceeding through. So you can actually
As
see.
well being in the
you
water.
actually see in my cape. Yeah, exactly. As I stand in this water, my cape is draining, and the light is going out. So now I can't.
And that's
actually,
both from the
now
rain
I can't
and
actu-
being
right.
in the water.
And now I can't actually fly. And so over time, this is just useful to see. My cape will fully drain, and once that happens, I won't even be able to bring out my candle anymore. So my candle, so now that you can see my candle's out, but it has no flame.
How are you going to replenish your light?
And so in order to replenish my light, I can either go find a light source in the world, or I could go find another player. So I could stand by this lamp here, and here you'll see me start to charge, and I'll start to gain my light. But the stronger the light, the more players you have around, the faster you'll recharge. So if I actually meet up this buddy over here and say hi to him, he'll actually be able to charge me a lot faster.
And just being close to another player?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just standing next to the warmth of another player will fill your cape with light, and then allow you to fly and continue to light things and make your way through the world. It looks like they found another child. So that player just earned a new level up on their wings. So we can maybe say hello to them and see. So here you can see they start shaded. I'm going to offer my light to them, and we'll see if they reciprocate. Or are they going to run away from me? We'll see. Oh, there we go. So now we touched flames, and you can see now I see what they look like. You can tell that both of these players are relatively new. They only have 2 stars on their back. Oh, actually, he has 4. So this player's been playing a little bit more and has found more secrets in the world. But we can run on together. I'm going to try to find maybe a spirit. Oh, so this is the rainforest. This is one of my personal favorite areas of the world.
Yeah, me too.
I think that our team did a really great job building out the scale and doing these beautiful mushrooms and kind of having this really pretty kind of light meets dark look.
Yeah, and those mushrooms also charge your energy.
Mm-hmm. So just like the creatures, anything that's light and has light will give you energy. Here you might find some shrines around the world of sky. So here you can see these candles. These are messages that other players have left. So this person wrote a message that says "Welcome to Jurassic Park," which is not I think we do reference all sorts of pop culture stuff when we're trying to grab the best ideas. Jurassic Park is obviously an incredible accomplishment and something that we've referenced in the past when building our park. Don't eat the glowy mushrooms. I don't know. I think they would give you life.
They would be delicious.
They would be delicious. I don't know if they'd like to be eaten, but
no,
they might. Maybe they would. So here, okay. So this is great. So here we found a spirit. So this will start one of the kind of spirit quests, and we can help and find what they need. So
So what does this UI mean, Chris?
So I'm in the rain, so this is actually a little bit challenging because the spirits in the rain. So basically, there are these spirits you can find, and as you follow them and walk with them and bring your light to them, you can kind of play out a bit more of their story. And so this spirit looked like they were with another friend and kind of maybe ushering each other through the rain using that umbrella. Basically, by finding one of these spirits and completing them, you'll be able to save them. So here. Looked like maybe there was some sort of quarrel between these characters. I'm not really sure, and ended in something. In one of them, clearly like sad and alone. So, it looks like she was a drummer. She has a drum on her back. So by saving her, so it looked like some sort of romantic encounter because she had this sort of bashful expression. So by helping her and saving her, I've now earned her expression, and we will see her fly off to the temple in the distance. And now we can kind of mimic what she showed us. So so if I open my expressions, I can see, we now have this sort of bashful state. And we can use that in our travels and as we communicate with people. It's nice. Maybe we'll follow her to the temple and follow that trail and where she went. You can see up in the top left corner, so as I play through Sky, I can earn and collect light and forges candles. Candles are sort of for kind of currency in Sky. You can use them to invest in other players, to invest in the spirits and grow your relationships. And so here I have a new one to make, so I can I've earned enough to earn a new one, so I can call that down. And yeah, you'll be finding those throughout the game. And so collecting, anytime you see some light on the side of the path, it might be useful you to sort of to gather it, or maybe hold someone's hand and just like hang out while they go around and take you around, and we'll be able to help each other in that way too.
Yeah. I think we can take one more question, and then
Sure.
we probably have to wrap up
Okay.
and move on. If we add more content to the game in the future, would we consider adding more creatures, either dark or light? From Kaliidemos? Probably said that wrong.
Yeah, so one thing that's exciting for us with Sky is that we kind of intentionally built a bit of like a sort of a slit window view of the world. So, we look, what I mean by that is, we're only showing you so much, and there's a lot of room to sort of grow and explore, and those clouds go off into the horizon. So what's out there, is both a question to the community, but also, for us, we know that that's an opportunity, and we've kind of intentionally seeded that so that down the road we can continue to sort of explore those things and bring. But there actually are in a previous, we've done some work. We have a thing called Creature Quest, where you could go around and help kind of creature spirits around the world, and those have kind of we've taken them out of the game for the initial launch, but I would expect those to come back in some form.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much. See you in the skies. No?
Cheers.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, folks. How are you? Welcome back. For those of you who don't know, my name is Robert. I'm the customer support manager here, and I work with the community development team in general. And with me is Kyle.
Hi, I'm Kyle, and I work on gameplay and mostly like world creatures and things that you interact with in the world of Sky.
Very cool. I think we're going to pick up where
Yes.
Chris and Eileen left off.
Yes.
Right here in the forest.
All right. So,
Of course, if you have any
See what's
questions
going
for
on.
Kyle, either pertaining to the level that we're in or the things that Kyle actually works on, please leave them in the comments, and we'll try and pick them up here and answer.
Yep.
Let's see.
so
Where
it
did
looks
we leave
like
off?
we're in the forest, and let's go check this out. So these are the butterflies. I did work on the butterflies. Also,
Yes.
a lot of the energy systems I work on, this rain stuff, touched a bit. So yeah, if you're in the rain, obviously you don't want to be in the rain. And oh hey, there's some people.
Looks like
They're-
there's a party waiting.
I'm sort of
to-
like coming in at the perfect time here. I'm just gonna accept this spirit. So.
Someone's done all the work already,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
Essentially just up for you to knock the pins down.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I'll take it.
the ball
So-
has been lobbed.
Yeah, so we have a very alive world, and as players are kind of wandering through this world and interacting with it, you can kind of stumble on to what they've been doing and sort of take part in it, and this is what happened here. I'm kind of coming in right at the very end, but I'll take that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might be the one that sort of started the quest and I'm doing a bunch of stuff, and then someone comes in. I'm okay with that. You know, they can come in and share the reward.
It's a collaborative effort, so you know,
absolutely.
regardless of where you come in, as long as you're working together. Also, I think something important to note, what you just saw there after Kyle saved the spirit, is they traveled up to the temple.
Yes.
There are a lot of people who are playing right now who don't realize that you do have to go to the temple to finish ultimately
Yes.
the salvation of those spirits.
Yeah, you know, you're trying to send them up to the stars.
Right.
And where the sending happens is actually in the temple.
Right, exactly. So once you get them to the temple, that's a great first step, but you've got to go to the temple and make sure that they are sent up to the stars where they ultimately need to be.
I'm just making friends with some fellow travelers now.
Heck yeah. A core fundamental of the game is that everything is better together. And, you know, it can be more fun, it can make challenges easier, but overall just doing things together
Just going to give them a random nickname for now.
Let's see, what do we get? Fidak?
Fidak.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's pretty close to what I would give this person.
Yeah, they look like a Fidak.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so cool. We're friends now. Let's keep going. So yeah, we have, you know, a lot of moments in the game where we're kind of introducing the next scene, and it's very kind of like cinematic experience as well.
Yeah.
So,
It's like watching a movie. You get those establishing shots that that essentially establish the next scene or setup of what you're about to go into. And you know, the game's full of beautiful locations and things. It's nice to take a moment and you know, kind of smell the flowers, if you will.
So I just got a new candle there. As you're collecting the light shards around the world, you can form candles. So that's what just happened there. And this person, Fidak, is, you know, they're gonna grab my hand and they're gonna take me off on a journey. So we'll see where they go.
And this is why you make friends in the game, because either they will teach you something or you will have the opportunity to teach them something.
Yes.
And holding hands is just like it's exciting, you know. Like there's sometimes a little fear about where this might go, but you know, people will surprise you. You know, they'll show you locations you've never been, or you know, help you with quests that you're having trouble with, and just seeing people's excitement to help others is pretty exciting for us.
No, I think it's really one of the coolest things about Sky is not only can you know, take someone's hand and take them around where you want to take them and show them kind of interesting places. They also can grab your hand and take you where they think is interesting. And I've had moments playing this game where, you know, people have taken me to spots that I didn't even know existed. And I'm a developer on the team.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's pretty cool, and yeah, it's always exciting.
It also reminds me, there was a point in time growing up where, well, actually a long period of time where I loved going to Disneyland. And honestly, there was a point where I kind of grew out of it, and I just didn't enjoy Disneyland as much.
What?
I know, shocking. But what I actually did find joy in is taking other people to Disneyland.
Yes.
And showing them around. You know, I'd been on the Indiana Jones ride countless times, and you know, I was essentially kind of tired of it. But once I heard someone had never been on the Indiana Jones ride, it was like, you know, this new opportunity to live vicariously, you know, through another person who's never done it. And you know, that's something that essentially happens here, you know, especially if it's for new players or people who are playing through the game a second time.
Right.
You know, discovering those things, but also having a kind of renewed appreciation for it for yourself, because you're seeing it through other people who, you know,
Pirates of the Caribbean will never get old for me. I could ride that ride every time and be happy.
Funny thing about Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm not a big roller coaster person. I do not like the down part. But Pirates of the Caribbean was one of those rides where I would suffer through the drops at the very beginning of the ride just to go see all the pirates.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was essentially no fear for that joy.
So we're just now getting to Jellyfish, and this is actually another thing that I worked on. Most of the creatures in Sky I worked on, and so these are
good and bad.
Yeah, good and bad, you know, and these ones are pretty fun. You know, they're somewhat similar to the mushrooms that you've seen earlier in this level, in that you sort of can jump on them, but Obviously, they're a little bit more interesting because they can fly and take you to kind of new places as you're going along them. They also charge your energy, so life and light in our game is what continues to charge you. So creatures are things of energy, and they can charge you. The light creatures, that is. Dark creatures, not so much.
Right.
They take light.
They take.
But in this level, we're still kind of only introducing you to the concepts of the energy in the game. And another thing is, as I stand close to good old Fidak here, I'll get charged as well.
Good old Fidak.
Yep. All right. So
there we go. Moving on.
So yeah, this gate here is showing that if I've collected 2 spirits in this area, I can move forward. You'll come across these gates in the game, and it's one of those things where we're encouraging you to continue to explore and find the spirits and help the spirits. And as we're getting to the temple here, we want you to have 2 spirits in this level. So.
Yeah, and you'll notice that there are gates like that, constellation gates, where you won't be able to enter it, and you might not be able to enter it the first time you find it. And so that's essentially just a way for us to encourage you to kind of come back and discover it once you have, powered up your character to that level.
Yep. All right, door is open. And this is, right now I think is even a good example of how this really is sort of a social adventure. We're playing with multiple people here. I'm just kind of new to them. They're meeting me for the first time, and I always say he's offering his hand again, so why not? And I think that's another thing that's really fun is as you play this game, you'll make friends and you'll continue to develop relationships, and hopefully you can have really good shared experiences. That's what we designed and built the game for.
Absolutely.
And also, it's really better with others.
I don't know if you're seeing this now, but these 2 little blinking lights here, these are the spirits that have been saved in the level. So as we were mentioning earlier, they were waiting here for you in this temple.
Yes.
You still need to complete their journey into the constellation. So hopefully once they're able to complete this area, they will finally be returned to the stars.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how Fidak is kind of continuing to show me around the area. He's not just like beelining it. It's really, actually checking it out.
Fidak's enjoying and stopping and smelling the dark flowers.
Yes. All right.
All right, let's see. Looks like we got some questions popping up.
Awesome.
Interesting. So, Gim Lao, I believe is how this might be pronounced. They are asking, we have sky, we have flower for air, flow for water, journey for earth. Can we expect a game about fire?
Ooh.
I mean, burning things is a lot of fun. And I mean, technically Sky does have a lot of fire themes in it.
Technically it does.
But considering your theory, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. We do enjoy the elements.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where we'll really have to think about it. We just launched Sky.
Yeah.
So,
give us at least a couple weeks before we decide to launch our next game.
Exactly. We're working on it, but yeah, I think we're always inspired by, elements and spiritual stuff and all kinds of things in the world, and I think as we look forward for the next project, we'll see,
Yes, that's a big we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, let's make the Sky as perfect as it can be.
Yeah.
And then we can think about burning.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of work to do on, continuing to work on the ever-changing world of Sky. Absolutely.
Yes, it's true. All right, so it looks like we are.
So we're in the process here of meeting kind of the forest elder. And in this process, we're going to be sending those spirits up into the sky, as we were mentioning earlier. So you can see now they're with me here, and they're happy. They're thanking us.
Yep, here they
we've
go.
done it, and there they go. So that's actually a big part of the game is just continuing to kind of bring the constellations back to life by sending the spirits up.
Yeah, and there you go. And once they're up there, you'll be able to go back to your home, and you can use the emotes to continue to express yourself as you play the game.
Yeah, that's right. So that each one of those spirits kind of represents a new emote, so it unlocks more social abilities that you can have with friends.
Yeah, and I like the theme of just kind of getting these little tidbits of knowledge from these characters throughout the world that helps you grow as a person, which I think is really, it continues to expand on this kind of concept of better together, and learning from each other. And we all do it too. The way we talk, the way we move, the way we act. We pick these things up from other people.
We all have our own emotes.
Yes, we do. IRL, we have our own emotes.
So I want to make a point that you'll see a red dot show up here.
Oh yeah,
so
that
means we have kind of a new one to unlock. So you can press it. No.
What's happening?
No, right.
Maybe they just saw the new fire.
So yeah, that's a new emote that we just got, and let's see, melt these dark plants. So yeah, as you play through the World of Sky, you'll run into some dark plants, and if you kind of help them and sort of take them out of the world, you're rewarded with little light that will ultimately add to your candles. So that's how that works. And yeah, where'd everybody go? Oh, they went ahead of me. So let's go here. And we have some jellyfish up here.
Yeah, we got some more jellies. They're calling out. Hoot!
Hey. Just floating on the jellies.
It's so great now that we've launched globally and there's so many more people in the game and playing. It's just so lovely to see how alive and active it is.
Oh yeah. Super alive.
It's just every corner you turn, you see someone. I saw some people playing the other day where they were wandering by themselves essentially, and they turned a corner and it was just a crowd of people. And it was honestly a little jarring at first, as any crowd might be that you might suddenly happen upon.
Right.
But then there was this excitement of like, ooh, I get to illuminate them. I get to see.
What are they doing?
Yeah, what are they doing?
Yeah.
What do they look like? And then of course they all start waving or dancing or doing something that is exciting.
Yeah, I sort of feel like earlier when we were just like floating on the jellyfish, it sort of reminds me of like floating on a pool, and just like relaxing experience. Sometimes I like to just like go on the jellyfish just to relax.
I got a couple more questions for you, Kyle.
Yep.
So, let's see. Looks like Ally or Ali on Discord is asking why mantas as opposed to, for example, giant birds. What made you choose this animal in particular?
Well, I think it's like we've always been kind of inspired by actually creatures of the sea, and we do have birds. They are in the game, but I think it's sort of like more magical and fantastical if it really is not something that you would see in the real world. So that's something that we always have considered. We've really kind of thought about that, and I think we have some creatures that are a little bit more docked in the real world, but swimming with mantas in like Hawaii or something has always been a dream, I think, of many, and certainly a dream of mine. I think like bringing that into the game, is obviously you're flying with them.
Yeah.
I think it gives it kind of that magical feeling.
Yeah.
Where you can't really imagine that as well as just like flying with birds.
Yeah, and the deep sea themes are, they are magical. They're a little alien. It's fantastic. It just makes everything more fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that we've kind of continued to think about and sort of have this like almost dream-like experience in the World of Sky.
Yeah. Let's see. Benji on Discord asks, will there be more customization options, not just clothing and whatnot, maybe like emotes, color options for things other than capes? I think, we want to continue to give people as many customization options as possible. Of course, we'll be starting with the things, or the categories, I should say, that we currently have: hair, cape, masks, pants, etc. But with the adventure passes, and as the game just continues to grow, and as we start to get a better sense of what people really want out of expressing themselves to their character, of course we'll be adding other things.
And I do think like expression is one of the things that we think a lot about, and obviously how you look is a way of expressing yourself. So I think we would absolutely consider adding.
Yeah. Let's see. Will there be more seasons, not just Gratitude in Winter, like spring seasons or something else? From Cave Hyuk on Discord. Cave He OK. I'm sure one of those is probably close. But yes, are we going to be doing more seasons? I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're kind of continuing to look at how people are interacting and playing with Sky, and I think, you know, we're going to be thinking about new seasons going forward, and, you know, we just kind of launched this one, but obviously, yeah, there'll be more.
Yeah, and I think also, you know, you mentioned here, you know, seasons in like the sense of winter and spring. My understanding is that the seasons aren't just going to be the literal seasons as well.
No. They all have a theme. You know, there's all going to
Yeah.
be, everyone's going to have a theme. And
Yeah, there'll be seasons to celebrate things. You know, I think the point of the season of gratitude is to celebrate gratitude. You know, so I think there's a lot of opportunities to have different seasons, and that's exactly what we want to do. You know, we've built this adventure pass, you know, for a purpose, and that is to have these continual new events and stuff going on.
As we've been talking, we actually entered the valley. So, yeah, we're in a new region of Sky.
All right, let's see. We got a couple more questions. We're nearing the end here. Let's see. And this is from Kampai on Discord. What will devs focus on in future improvements mostly? What big changes will probably be made, like new challenges in the world? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think actually Chris had mentioned that we're looking at doing some new quests, you know, going forward, different kinds of quests that you can play with others. So I think that would be a big one that we're going to be focusing on and trying to kind of continue to add to the just playfulness and things that you can do in the world. That's huge. I think we're also going to be looking at, you know, sort of new props and different things. You know, we have instruments and different things that you can do and interact with. I think we'll probably be looking at some of those and really just kind of continuing to add to the world of Sky. But what's great is, like, obviously this is a live experience, and I think as we're watching people play the game and see how people play the game, it might adjust sort of some of the things that we're going to focus on. So obviously feedback is always great for us, and we really look at all of that feedback.
Yeah, and to Kyle's point, you know, we just launched, so there's gonna be a lot of feedback coming in about you know, the good and the bad and the ugly, and from that we'll be able to you know, chart our course much clearer. You know, there's a lot of things we have planned, a lot of things we want to improve on, but you know, obviously it's gonna require a lot of feedback from everyone. Okay, looks like we might have time for one more question. Oh, we got a couple more here. Let's see. What are the advantages of going through Eden with lots of friends? By Flashman311.
So with Eden, you know, if you go through with a lot of friends, they can help you stay charged. So as you sort of get hit, I don't want to spoil too much if you haven't played it yet, but what I'll say is, like, as you sort of take damage in that level, your friends can help charge you, and the more energy you have, the less damage you'll take. Little secret, if you hug, it'll charge you really fast, so that's something to keep in mind also when you're playing through the levels, including Eden. And, you know, also, just in general, I think they can help you kind of guide, especially if someone's actually played through it already, they can kind of guide you through the path to avoid some of the dangers. So that's something I really encourage is, you know, trying to find people who have played it before, kind of help shepherd you through that level. That certainly is easier then.
Yeah, it's like most things, it's working together, and it's kind of I think also sharing kind of the burden of that level as well. You know, any one person might not be able to shoulder it alone, but multiple people can share in that experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, looks like it's about time to wrap up. I've got a few things before we go. Of course, if you experience any bugs and issues, contact us. Let's see. If you don't know about our Discord, don't forget discord.gg at thatsgame.com. And of course, thank you for all tuning in. Kyle, is there anything else you'd like to say?
Just thanks a lot.
And we've got some more people for you, so this is just us for now. So thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next the next group of people coming in. So hang out.
And we're back.
Yes. And I'm still here. Surprise!
Thank you so much for sticking with us. If you've been watching for the whole time, and even thanks for joining in if you've just tuned in right now. But it's been a really fun opportunity to talk to a couple of developers and ask some questions about the process and how the game's played. And thank you so much for engaging. And we're going to be sending out those like sticker packs. Our community manager Chris is going to be in touch with those people that ask those questions. So you'll get some stickers in the mail, and you'll get some candles in the game.
Oh, yes.
And just a quick reminder as well to everybody that this signed poster in the background here, you can go into the draw to win that by posting on social media on Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag thatgame and a screenshot of you and your friends playing the game. So all you need to do is just post it up, then it'll put you into the draw. So it's not a competition to make the greatest screenshot. We just want to see you be creative and have fun and post something cool on those channels.
Have we clarified whether or not it's them as their characters playing together, or
of course.
people playing together?
It's a screenshot of the game of your avatar and the game world
with their friends.
With your friends,
Okay.
yeah.
Good,
And it doesn't need to be real world friends, just like
I'm
just some
imagining
people that you found.
I'm imagining a bunch of people at like a coffee shop with all their cell phones and mobile devices.
To be honest,
like
selfies. Go for it. Do that post as well.
That would be fun too.
That would be fun. Do we have any other questions that we might want to tackle before we sign off there, Rob?
Yeah, here's a good one for you from Shira Cheshire. Will the season format change at all?
For those of you that have been playing right through the limited live and the beta, you've seen some changes that we've made between the first season we ran over winter. So a little hint for those of you that are new that there might be something coming in wintertime. And the latest season of Gratitude that we made. We made some pretty big structural changes between those two, but I think we're pretty happy with the foundation that we have now in terms of the different spirits in the different lands and having a coherent theme between the aesthetics of the characters and that sort of stuff. But we have been having a lot of meetings lately about how we can make Adventure Pass better and make it use it as an opportunity to expand the narrative of the world. So hopefully you can see in the future seasons that the quests are a little bit more involved. They have maybe little cinematics and more story in them, so that they will emphasize or expand upon the story of each of the different lands and all the people of the world of Sky. So we're pushing ourselves to make sure that those seasons aren't just a collection of shiny, cool new things for you to collect. Which obviously, is very important. People want shiny new things to collect, but we want to make sure that it's got a TGC spin on it.
Right. Absolutely. Very cool. Yeah, and I imagine.
I should also mention that each new season, this is the ambition. I don't want to sign us up for too much so we can't deliver. But the plan is for each new season to have a new mechanic as well, and for new types of quests to come online. And we're planning to have gameplay programmers on season content for the foreseeable future as well. So we do already have a really cool new feature planned for the next season, which will come after this one, and we'll plan to continue to keep that up.
Exciting. Yeah. I like that. I'll have to find out what that is.
Yeah.
Very cool. I mean, are there any good examples of the with the current adventure pass, what would be like the iconic feature from it, or what would you think would identify this latest
Of course.
pass? As...
Well, the the unique feature that we introduced to this season were the gratitude shrines. So the idea there as the theme of this season was, was gratitude, and we linked it to a real world culture and their the Ha Summer Festival, and which is all about like sort of being grateful for the turn of the seasons, and got some really cool designs inspired by the real world with the masks and things that you'll see in the game now. But we wanted to make sure that the gameplay actually reflected gratitude as well. So we had this feature where people could just plant message candles anywhere in the world, and it's kind of cool, but it's also a little more freeform, right? When people just can say whatever they want, it like kind of gets a little bit Wild West.
Yeah.
But we wanted to give some people some prompts, to share some cool things, and so we came up with the idea of using gratitude prompts, like the sort of things you'd use for a gratitude journal or like a daily gratitude practice, to think about things that you can be grateful for in the world and share that with other players. So those so each day in the season there's one of these shrines to find somewhere in the world. So there's a bit of the kind of just decoding what the clue is as to where that shrine is, and then when you find the shrine, there's a prompt for you to respond to, just thinking about like what your favorite food is, who your favorite person is, who are you grateful for today, different things like that. And then you can write that prompt, and it'll be left on the shrine. And then when other people discover that candle, they can like it. And then if over 10 people like it, then you get a heart. So there's these sort of layers of gameplay to that. So that's quite an involved mechanic. Maybe not every season will be quite that complex, but we'll try and have some little spin for like a daily quest that reflects the theme of the season as a whole.
Yeah, I guess as kind of an extension of that, is there a particular reason why we chose the season of gratitude over any other season we could have chose? What was it about gratitude that was unique?
We just hope that every season will have a theme that's based on a human virtue, a virtue of humanity. And so it wasn't necessarily that like gratitude was the number one most important thing for us to do. It's just the one that sort of came together for us in terms of the link of the functionality that we thought that we could pull off in the time frame, and the story and things. So there's many more that we have lined up. We plan to launch these every 2 months, so there's lots more of them to come, and hopefully lots more human virtues for us to cover, and we won't run out of them.
Well, and gratitude fits very well into just the general theme of Sky. The offering things to each other. So it fits in very well. Let's see. Brylark asks, are season cosmetics time limited? They're worried that something in a season that won't be available in the future.
Yep, that's how they work. That's and so that's the great thing about them, and that's the kind of slightly tough, punishing thing about them.
The scary thing.
Yeah, and they are all limited content. They're around for 6 weeks. 6 weeks and 2 days, actually, in the case of this season, because we're starting a little early for the launch, for the weekend. But this will be your only opportunity to earn these items. So you just log in each day, do those daily quests, work with your friends, and get some hearts, and you can do it.
Let's see. We've got another question here. Are there any Easter eggs in Sky? I think the answer is literally and figuratively yes. There are definitely some things hidden around the game, although I imagine it's probably best that you try and find them yourselves with your friends. Yeah,
I mean, my favorite, just to give you a clue, is that somewhere you might find a rainbow.
Yes.
Somewhere of the more fun ones.
At the right time and place, you might find such things as...
Yeah, we've built a lot of systems to support this sort of stuff, like time-limited events, and now that like the core game is out, I think we're going to be shifting our focus more to adding in more of those types of events for people to find. So for those players that have like surface level like completed the game or based the main things, there's more texture and more depth for them to go and discover as they dig into like the dark corners of the land.
Yes.
So,
I mean, as much as it's about completing the narrative experience, there's also a lot of discovery to be had, and just general kind of sightseeing. There's always something that you might have missed the first time you've gone through.
Yeah.
And that's the opportunity for you to find special little things like that.
Now, I'm actually just going to jump back to the home space and see if I can just show people what the daily quest giver in the season looks like.
That's a good idea.
Because this all just started as we were on the stream. So this is our daily quest giver here.
There they are.
This is our dude. And so in the Season of Gratitude, there are 4 daily quests to complete each day. So the 4 here are social one, to follow another player, this one to meditate, which is what we were just talking about, the gratitude shrines by the koi pond. And then there's another 2 which are unlocked when you own the adventure pass, and we'll get to that in just a second. But you talk to this guy each day, pick up your quests, and if you tap the bottom left of the screen here, then you'll get a sort of full description of how the season and the adventure pass works. So it describes the things that come in the pack of the adventure pass, which is active for the full 6 weeks of the season. And then we have a little how to play guide here explaining that each of the lands has a different spirit in it, which you meet in the same way that you meet the core spirits of the game. Each of those guys have cosmetics that you can earn off them as you earn season candles, and then just a note at the end about those gratitude shrines that you find as one of the daily quests each day. So that's live now. You can jump in and play it, and we'd love to get your feedback on it, as with everything.
Yeah.
We're listening closely, and we're here to help. Rob and his team of customer support agents are sort of ready and waiting to respond to all your queries and suggestions and any technical issues you might have. So
And don't forget, we've got FAQs set up to answer a lot of the questions, and of course if we don't, we'd love to hear about it so we can add them. But a little FAQ I have for you, Tim, is when you go to the quest giver and you tap on them, do you have to do anything to get these quests, or are they automatically kind of ready for you?
You just tap on this guy, and then you're off.
You're ready to go.
And if you want to be reminded of what they are at any time, you can just tap like the currency counter or the top right hand side of the screen. Actually, why is it not coming up? Oh, because I'm forging a candle. And then they'll come up on the left-hand side of the screen.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, so you don't have to pick them up. You just got to check in, see what they are, and then you can
That's right.
set
Just
off.
one tap and you're on your way.
Awesome. Very cool. All right, we've got a couple other questions here.
Okay.
Let's see, from Joseph Bergen. What were some of the biggest difficulties for the team with this being on mobile?
Oh, well, I mean, the first one that comes to mind is control scheme. We tried a lot of stuff. I've been part of the team for 2 years now, and I've seen the control scheme change a lot in that time. But I know that even in the 4 years prior to that, there was a lot of experimentation going on. It's pretty tough, to make this camera perspective things work and give players that fine-tuned camera control with a twin stick style thing. So they tried a lot of different stuff. That was pretty difficult. The thing that bothers me the most, or is a challenge for me the most, is thinking about the context in which a player is playing the game on a mobile device and how that differs from a console. Because when you are playing a console game, you're sort of dimming the lights, you're sitting down, you've got a controller, you've got your snacks ready, and you're ready to really be immersed in an experience. But we don't have that same luxury on mobile. We need to make sure that things are very clear, that they make sense, and that the player has very short-term objectives, which they can go through. And I think that's been a big challenge in the design, is making sure that we do all that stuff and kind of, I suppose, scratch that mobile game itch and be a good, accessible, easy to understand mobile title, but at the same time have that same emotional depth. When you do have the time to sort of lie back on the couch and grab your phone or your iPad and dim the lights, and it's doing both of those things. So I mean, that's been a really interesting challenge, but I hope that we've struck a bit of a balance there, and that players do have daily activities to check back in on, and they can have a successful or enjoyable 5-minute session, and they can have that really moving hour-long session with some of the later, more involved levels of the game.
And I mean, I've heard people, all the way from, like Tim says, lying in bed, headphones, lights down, snacks, playing to people who are just on a bus ride somewhere, want to jump in and play for a little while. And that is definitely, going to create a lot of different experiences that will, make it an interesting challenge, even going forward, to see how people actually end up playing the game and what they want to make of it, Let's see. We've got another question here. This is from Gimlau. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Asking, will Vince release the OST somewhere? So the original soundtrack.
Watch the space.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all we've got on that at this time.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't confirm anything here, but I'd say there'd be a good opportunity, a good chance there'll be other ways for you to listen to the soundtrack in the future.
Yeah, I mean, the music is so critical to the game, and it's so meaningful to all of us, and it's something that we want to be able to share as much and as often as possible. Yeah. So anything's possible.
For sure.
Yeah.
I have another little tip for people, by the way, while we're here. See that the question mark in the top right-hand corner of the screen? That's sort of like beaming to me. Mm. We've got those on like a few different screens in the game. Although maybe this screen isn't coming through to the stream at the moment. It's not? Okay. But if you can imagine that there's a stream coming through, and there's a little question mark at the top right-hand side of the screen, we've put in these how-to-play guides which explain what each of the screens do and what the story is as you go and collect light, find the spirits, bring the light to the spirits, and unlock collectibles and put them on in the closet and stuff. So it's a pretty non-conventional, game. Like we haven't, a lot of the standard tropes, I suppose, of games are not really present here, and we've really leaned into trying to make sure that all of these different systems click with the narrative, and it does mean that there's a bit more to learn in this game to fully understand what's going on. So yeah, if it's stuck, click on one of those how to play guides. Hopefully that'll help, and we also have the full FAQ that Rob and his team write and maintain, which goes into even more detail.
Yeah, and we'll be adding more of these as well into the game.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure. Yeah.
As we find more opportunities to, I guess, educate, that stuff will pop up.
For sure, yeah.
Very cool.
Cool.
All right.
It's probably time for us to wrap up, yeah?
Yeah, does that sound good?
Okay, cool.
Right.
Thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully this has been fun for you, and thank you for asking all of the questions. They were really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be sending out these guys to the people that ask the questions, and sending you out your candles as well. So you'll get a message probably through Twitch, I'd imagine, to get an address for you to send that stuff out. And we will be doing these every week. So every week we'll have a live stream. It won't be quite this long. This is a especially long one today. We brought in a few different people. It'll likely be half an hour every Friday. And so yeah, come hang out, play the game, talk to the developers,
bring
share
your
questions and
questions.
concerns. Yeah, bring your questions. We'll probably have giveaways most weeks as well. So more stickers to come. And obviously remember this is the opportunity to win that poster behind you as well. So thanks so much for tuning in. We're so appreciative for all of your love and support. And yeah, we can't wait to see where the game goes next.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. See you guys in the skies.
Bye.